9 losses. And article in the Herald Sun, this is ridiculous, this talented team, fire the coach, you know, this, that and the other. But that year we picked up Marcus Timmins. And after being 3-9, we go on a 16-game winning streak all the way up to the grand final series. So we win game 1, and then we play game 2, and we lose game 2. Again, the reports are out. You know, this would be the greatest choke in Australian sports history if they lose this series. And all of a sudden you're going, oh, the pressure's mounting and mounting. And then, lucky enough again, we played that game 3 and played a pretty good game. You know, we made a few adjustments from the errors we made in game 2, and we got a good win, and we ended up winning by 10 or 12. And Leonard Copeland had an unbelievable game 3 in that series and was MVP of the championship series. So, and we got our 2nd title.
It's all over. The Melbourne Tigers have prevailed. A brilliant victory for Lindsay Days and his team. They get home by 10 points, 93-83, and are NBL champions for 1997.
To have that type of rivalry in Melbourne, and whenever you walked down the street, people knew who you were. And if it was a Melbourne Magic fan, they'd scream and yell at you. If it was a Melbourne Tiger fan, they'd come over and shake your hand.
To do that and provide that excitement and joy and feeling of accomplishment, not only for yourself, but to all your fans where they can get to see it firsthand, just makes it an absolute privilege to be involved in elite sport when you get that feeling that we've made those people feel so good about themselves.
I didn't think he knew another offense besides the shuffle, you know, but then when you think about all the different teams that he's played on over the years, you know, going to Europe, and the States and playing professionally. You know, he obviously is a pure basketball brain, which is a credit to his family. But as a player, I think his greatest strength was his size.
He's the Australian shooter. And he's in his first year with us, been a tremendous asset to our team. Let's hear it for Andrew Gaze.
We were admired by the entire San Antonio population because it is the most recognised sports franchise in that city. And everyone's there, and there's a big river that flows through the city of San Antonio. And part of the celebrations was they had these barges, and all the players were on these barges. And we did this trip through and an estimated audience of 350,000 people come out to clap you and that, and you feel the attention of it all, and the significance of a sporting achievement really hits home. But the thing that stuck out to me was when you speak individually to the people and the fans that are celebrating it, those fans, even though it was the international stage and more people watched it and followed it, those fans were no more proud or no more satisfied of winning the NBA title as a Melbourne Tigers fan was sitting in the stands here in the 1997 championship. For me, when I was a youngster, the most conscious thing that I can remember about having a dream of doing something heroic was hitting the winning basket for Australia to win a medal at the Olympic Games. And I think that dream came about, or that heroic deed came about, because I saw my dad toiling with that right throughout his career as a player and as a coach. And I think because of those experiences of sitting around a table or watching television and being around with Dad and picking up the stories of the Olympic Games and what it means to compete at the Olympic Games, and you learn about the privilege of representing your country and the honour of representing your country. And then just when you think that this is as good as it gets, you have a situation where the Olympic Games are in your home country, and you've been given the honour to not only be the captain of the basketball team, but the captain of the entire Australian team, and have the opportunity to introduce this team to the rest of the world and walk out in front of 120,000 fans at Stadium Australia and say, world, here is our Australian Olympic team. But if it was not for my father's involvement and his contribution, I doubt very much that I would have been given that honour. So I was felt very proud, not only for myself, but also for our sport.
I never seen him miss a training. I mean, every single day, he was the first one on the floor. He was going to give you 30, 35 points. You knew what he was bringing. But to see this guy's passion for basketball, he was meant to be a basketball player, and that's just the way it is.
He could do it from outside the three-point line, and his backdoor cuts, I mean, there's thousands of them. How is that still happening when everybody knows that that's what goes on? It's because you just took your eye off him for a second. You just looked away for a second, you just searched the ball out, and he's gone. A pressure performer, another one like Leroy Loggins, that at the end of the game you wanted the ball in his hands and he'd make a good decision one way or the other, whether it was a shot or a drive to draw the foul, he could do it.
You knew he was going to get it. You tried to stop him getting it, but it just wasn't going to happen. He was going to get it, you know. Whether he get it to the free throw line, whether he get it off open three-point looks, or he get it off backdoor cuts. To his credit, yeah, he's the best homegrown player ever in Australian basketball history.
History has a tendency to fade the memories of great achievers. And the relevance of that is if someone scores 30 points or thereabouts in a game today, that's almost headline news. That's a terrific effort. To average that over a 20-year period, it's mind-boggling. It's, you know, and trying to get your head around that. So what do you have to do to be so consistent when everyone in the league is having their special defensive plays and team efforts to stop you? It's a pretty tough record to set. And so I think that would be more the point of the history will say, well, how will he be remembered by as being bloody near unstoppable?